Hey, welcome. Welcome to Expat Rebel channel. This is Expat Rebel Chris, and welcome to a tour of my recent home renovation here in Yucatan, Mexico, on the beach. Come on in. So we bought this house here, up there. Oh, I'd say about 5 months ago, and we've done a lot to it. And if you've been joining my vlog, you've gone along on that journey with me. But what I'm going to tell you in this video is it after it being completed. It's phase one. We do have a couple more phases, but we're not going to do that until like next year at the least. We just got back from the vivero, the garden center. So we got some rosemary and some other plants. They're not, some were planted, some aren't. This was added. This is the little house with the aluminum door, is our pump house for the house. So we have a water pressurizer and a salt system to purify the water. And we also have an RO unit in the kitchen. This is the casita. It was the original house when the previous owner built it, and then he built this part of the house 2 or 3 years later. So it's kind of like a studio. It's got a full kitchen in it and everything. It's pretty nice. We haven't really done much in there except for paint it. We did add a solar panel system in place, and this little bodega, which was already here, we cleaned it out. It had a generator which didn't work. In fact, we tried for a while to get it to work. And instead, we went with solar. We have a solar battery in there and all that. This sink was added. This is like our workbench, since we thought, hey, we're under the solar panels. This is going to be protected from, rain and everything. We'll have an art sink and potting plants here type of thing. We could maybe even stick some potting materials down here and whatnot. So whenever we go into town now, we get some plants and we're sticking them where we think we might want to put them in. And our caretaker, who comes once a week, is slowly catching up with our plant purchases. There's some of the rocks that were from the pool. At the bottom of the pool, they stuck a bunch of these rocks, and we actually had a few extras, so we just had them stick it here for landscaping. We even stuck some shelves there to give this space. This sidewalk is completely new. This used to be all sand, and it goes around the house as well. That's the casita. We did paint the doors. That's the casita door. This is going to be a nice landscaped area we're going to eventually do. Right now it just holds plants as we figure out where to stick them. We went to the garden center. I said yesterday, we got a bunch of new plants. This is the laundry room. Not much has changed in there, but we did paint the door. That's the stairs up to the main house. We just painted up there mostly. This is this patio area, which we really didn't do much to, but the pool. This was all sand all the way to, that's the Palapa, and then that's the Gulf of Mexico. This is all new because this was all sand again. And this was a custom-made pool. So our pool contract was fantastic. David was so fantastic, and his crew, because this was a work in progress. It changed every week exactly. We didn't plan this area, this little stair here at first, but we were going to have this as land so that we could say my favorite palm tree here. It's a nice one. It goes all the way up to the top floor. You just see palm trees and the ocean. It's really cool. But we wanted to say that that's a tree light. That's a coconut. That's a tree light. We do have coconuts falling almost every day. And our caretaker is good about cleaning them up, and once a week, and I come in as well when doing that. But some features of the pool, because this was the major project for us. Not only do we have these nice stairs that go into the deep end, but these stairs are tiny. And what we found in Mexico is that the stairs are usually ginormous that don't exist at all. And so we wanted to make sure that we could use our pool as we got older really easily. We have a swim out bench right here and over here. These are bar stools, built-in bar stools, and a bar area. So if we walk over here, this was all custom, and we actually did these stone edging as well, which was not in the original plan. We did change some things as we went along. This we made bigger, the stone right here, as a bar area. So we stick our speaker and our iPad that runs our music. and of course trays, food and drinks, and we'll sit in the pool and look out over the ocean as well. We have just another small step here to get into the shallow end. The shallow end is for a lounger to be able to put it here and be in the water, but not fully in the water on a nice lounger. We haven't gotten a lounge, but that's what this area is. Should hold two easily, maybe even three. We didn't really plan on quite either. We wanted a couple of steps. We wanted more than that, but then it started taking up the deep end. So we said, we just need two. Once you're in that far, you can just fall into the rest of the pool easily. And we found swimming around in it that we can get out this way as well. You don't even have to use those stairs. And I got enough in the deep end here to do my pool exercises, which is the reason I got the pool. Really was for that. Of course, we like pools. We're pool people. So we had all this custom done, and we had a tree light in there as well. So some of the landscaping we're doing right now, mostly just these temporary pots and everything. We did plant that palm tree a couple of days ago, and we got bougainvillea and some other plants. And so plan this area right here to be eventually fully landscaped, but we're just slowly getting there. Some other things we did, I mean, we also did the deck all the way to here. This is the seawall, which was here, but it was all sand on both sides. And now we have it. If you notice the river walk, this rock, this is for drainage, and they're everywhere, all over the place. So around the pool, so that even the sidewalks and the entrance and whatnot have them, but therefore making sure that the water drains off this cement easily. Now, of course, you need the pool equipment. And the pool equipment, we needed a house to store it in. So we had this built as well. And what we knew about it, we made it a little bit bigger because we wanted some storage right inside. The pump in there is actually running right now. That's the pool is circulating. We have it set up for the morning to do that. And so we got these aluminum doors. It took us a while to get it at a reasonable price. Aluminum doors here are actually expensive. So you got those now. But the palapa, which is one of my favorite places to hang out in, especially in the morning, we didn't really do a lot to it. The excess sand, because of digging the pool, got spread out here and out in the front. So this actually used to be lower, a full step lower on the piss. So that changed. Inside, we installed a fan, really nice fan, and some lighting in here, just subtle lighting. So if we're out here and it's dark, we can see. It already had I think that was a new outlet, and this outlet is new as well, because there was an outlet, but there was nothing else. And it's protected here, and we can plug in our phone chargers and whatnot in there. We did get these chairs, of course, in nearby big city of Merida, so that we can sit. Same with the little side things. And whenever we go to the beach, we always collect shells. So this is where the shells get collected over here on the edge. So we have tree lights on almost every single big palm tree. And at night, that's really nice to be able to see out from the living room, the house, and see all the palm trees lit up. It's fantastic. We love that. There's a little close up on what they look like. Our electrician did that for us. Now this beach fence, we actually have two of them, but this one you couldn't see through at all. It had posts everywhere, and that's because the previous owners had a lot of dogs and cats, and we wanted to make sure they couldn't escape everything. So it was actually impossible to get to the beach from this property. And so we had to fix that. We had this gate painted to match the rest of our doors that we had painted, just for fun and everything. And we had this water dispenser here to, get your feet rid of all the sand before you got onto our sidewalk. So this sidewalk goes all the way to the front gate where we started. So we have these water shoes. They stay here to make sure no weird bugs crawl in them. We've had that problem, but not here, but some other places where we had a scorpion once in both of our set of shoes that crawl in there. And once we got in the water and they started getting wet, they freaked out and started stinging us. They're really tiny though, so it was not a big deal. I have been stung by a fairly good sized scorpion, but not in Mexico, in Texas, where I used to live many years ago. And that sucked for 2 days. But so so we don't really see them here. And we have seen scorpions, a lot of them, at a previous rental before we bought this house. And so they are here, but they're few. And it matters where you live. Now we are next to a scorpion nest. And so we saw a ton of them, but here, not, which is great. So on the beach, this got raised a bit because of the excess sand from the pool dig. As you can see, this fence, which we really haven't changed at all, is on federal property, but we have Mexican federal government permission to have it here because sea turtles tend to nest right here. And in fact, about a week or two after we moved in, that happened. And instead of going into the ocean, they went into our pool dig at the time. The pool wasn't there yet, but the big hole was. And the neighbors came over and experienced before, since this is a turtle nesting area, and they got the turtles to go in the right direction. This is the Gulf of Mexico. And this is the morning. So the wind typically comes out of the northeast. And in the morning, it's not that bad, actually, which makes the palapa really nice in the morning. In the afternoon, it can get a little bit like 20 kilometers per hour type of thing. It's great for kite surfing. So if you like kite surfing, it's just the place to be. It's just you're going to be doing it in the afternoon. And so I've seen a lot of kite surfing here, not in front of our house as much as some other rentals we had west of here, where there's a nearby kite surfing school. So various levels of people and instructors cruising by in front of our rental house. But here we don't really see it. But still, same weather. You could kite surf here like crazy. We do see a fishing boat, and nearby neighbor has one that's usually right in front of our place, actually. He must be out fishing. And this place is known for fishing. And most of the restaurants in town, this is a very small town, are fish restaurants. Fried fish being the most popular item that some restaurants, that's all they do. So that's the overall of what we've done with their place. And thank you for coming along my tour. If you want to see more videos like this and things about being an expat or becoming an expat, make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you subscribe to our newsletter community over at expatrebel.com/newsletter. You'll get a weekly email with all the latest expat news that you want to know. Oh, one last thing was we also installed a steam room, which is highly weird for this area. No one knew about it. Even our pool construction people didn't really know what a steam room was. It seems to be like only super deluxe resorts have them around here, which is true. We've stayed at quite a few resorts in Mexico, and most of them don't have it. Nice ones do, which is nice. But we had a steam room room installed. Now, right now, this is a curtain because our steam room door is still being made. Getting the steam room door has been an interesting experience on how to source it, because the first few prices we got were from companies that made steam room doors for resorts, and we got resort pricing on it. They're expensive, like over $1,000 for them. We got it down to a little over 300, but it's being made for us at this time. So we actually stick in this curtain. It actually works. The steam room is fantastic. It's like the steamiest steam room I think I've ever been in. And I'm a huge fan of steam rooms, so I do know a lot about them over the years. And this one is fantastic. Then what we did on this, steam room was we went with tile. And this is marble tile. It's not actual real marble, but it looks like it. Chooses the little unit to change the temperature and the time, and off. And we had to even put these benches in, and we did slate for the floor. Like, just because we thought it's a tile slate, and it's the actual tile. That's where the steam comes out of. And we had them slant the roof so that the drops would go this way and not fall on our head. Also, into our design, because our people didn't know how to do the steam room. The pool they did. Now, the pool shape, mentioned this, is a heart shape. That was by design, and the placement of the swim outs are all by design. Everything we did here was to our custom, and we told them exactly how high we want, how big we wanted things, everything. We told them all of this. They did not come to us with this design. We told them this design. We told them how deep we wanted the deep end to be, and how big the stairs to be, and how shallow over there, and how tall the stools were. And we wanted a bigger area for the bar area and the whole thing. And they were in charge of making sure it worked. And so it was a very interesting project to watch, because we saw it every day. We lived here while they did it, which is unusual. And we did not use an architect, which is unusual here. Most people, especially foreigners in Mexico, use an architect to get their stuff done, which means that you hire the architect, and the architect hires the crew and handles them and everything. Instead, with us, we hired the workers directly. We talked to two main people, mostly one for this whole area, this pool construction, and the little casitas for the steam room and the pool room and the pump room, directly in Spanish. They didn't know any Mayan workers from about an hour away from here, hour and a half or so, that came. Sometimes he came just by himself. Sometimes he had a crew of nearly 20 people, depending on what needed to be done that day. And he came 6 days a week for over 4 months. At the end, it was not every day, as they were finishing some things and everything, but we were able to, from the living room or the bedroom level, be able to at any time just look out and see what was going on and give them some feedback. For us, that really worked. Just having go direct. I think an architect would have been a disaster in getting this project to be exactly what we wanted, our dream pool. So we feel really good about that, but it's highly unusual. In fact, I don't know anybody else that has not used an architect is that common down here. So that is one thing that was really different for what I've seen of other foreigners coming to Mexico, is they usually do that. And I think maybe some of that is the language barrier. You've lived in Mexico for over 5 years now. We lived in nearly 30 different places over those years, figuring out if we wanted to, one, continue to stay here or where. We started off in Playa del Carmen over in Quintana Roo. And even though we still have a lot of friends over there and we liked it and everything, getting something on the beach there is really expensive. We were seeing things over $1 million. I never really saw anything under $1 million that was any good. And there's most things on the beach are resorts as well. We do have resorts over here, but it's a lot less. And it's mostly homes and some condos. We've stayed in some condos on the beach here over in the Yucatan beach communities, and which were fantastic. But we wanted a house, and that's what we got. We had to look a while. We had to get used to the area for a while before we really understood the market and what was a deal and what wasn't a deal. There are a lot of not deals here that are overpriced and really set up for gringos that they could afford it, but it's really not the actual price of the place. It's inflated. And we got this at an actually good deal. Even for a local Mexican, they would have looked at this and go, wow, that's a deal. And it needed a lot of work, and we still need to do some more projects But quite honestly, after 5 months of projects, we're done. And living here, sometimes it got noisy. Now, when they were doing stone cutting, the stone and even the cement, they had to cut these parts out. When they had a major cutting day, I left. I went to a nearby restaurant at a marina. It was really nice and snazzy. I did a vlog once on that, and just about getting away from all the noise, and just hung out there. And I had lunch and dinner and hung out there for probably 6 hours to get away from all drilling and whatnot. I love concrete as a material. It's fantastic, I think, because you can form it into anything you want. But when you have to cut it or drill it, it is extremely noisy. And you hear it no matter where you are in the house. If they're drilling anything that's remotely attached to the house or even nearby, it is extremely loud. Oh, I forgot to mention, my wife had a nice art project in the side of the steam room where she stuck these shelves in. She collected all of these or purchased all of these items, and our construction crew stuck in this cement. They said you had 10 minutes to place everything. So she designed it and thought about it for probably over. And when it came time, boom, she stuck it in. I think it took her 14 minutes, but it was fine. And it's a beautiful accent to our bar area. Our bar area has got a, Kutasi hit and our noodles that we like this one with. And that's about all we have in our bar area. And we're really pool people and Palapa people. So we don't really see any furniture here because I probably would never use it. But we do have a couple of 4 plastic chairs just in case we need to sit down and everything. We do have some nice chairs upstairs that we got at Liverpool. A little bit on the pricey side. Liverpool, if anybody knows Liverpool, it's a high-end Dillard's. There they are. That's the living room floor, little balcony area. So I like to go there and read and enjoy it, especially in the afternoons when it gets windy. It's, the plop is actually a little bit too windy, and it bothers me after a while. And so I'll go up here and for the afternoons. So I got that going as well. The inside we painted. It's really nice. I'll show you the casita and the paint job. It's similar to these doors that we did. When you're on the Gulf of Mexico, the water here looks like this in the middle of the day. So we went with that theme. So here, the casita. And here we did a 2-tone room. So we have this darker blue over here on this side of the room. This is what was first built. The previous owners built this. And so there's a bathroom, there's our kitchen, and in this whole room here. Now, right now, this is kind of office area. This is where I stuck our printer, which we rarely ever use. We got a couch that we bought here locally. And this side of the room has a lighter blue. So my wife likes to do that. She likes 2-tone colors in a room, and that kind of works for us. You can see both shades right here. Now on the outside, what we did is we had some more wall extensions added. So when you're in the living room and you're looking out, we used to be able to see the next door neighbor's pool, which is right behind that wall. That's where the wall used to be. So when I was watching TV, I could actually see people in the pool, which bugged me. I did not like that. So I had them raise it. The part they raised, we had them shakun, which is a nice concrete finish. This pool was a shakun finish inside. It gives it a nice, lovely color to it. I think this is what we call this our little private cenote, but it gives this nice blue color to it, which is why we use this trim around the pool, this Venetian tile trim around the entire pool, accent that and puts the bear stools where that as well. So we had them increase that and stick the shakun. Now we didn't do it here. The existing wall, we didn't shakun it. It would be a little pricey to do that from over there all the way down to this is the maintenance walkway, which we also had concrete sidewalk stuck in. And we'd have to go looks like all the way down. And we're thinking about doing a mural instead and having lots of plants, either planted or in pots along the edge here. But they did put that shikun finish, which comes from a tree sap they mix in with concrete. And we had this wall extended as well. It was shikumed part way already. And so when they did the top part, we just had to match it. So it was about halfway or so, and they did it. So now we're in the living room. I can't see the next door neighbor's backyard either, which is nice. Oh, here, let me show you our local mascot, which just ran away. We have a local mascot for our house, and iguana that we named Carlos, but he's a little shy. He likes to hang out right there in the morning. And now his favorite sunning pad is the top of this pool, the pool room right there, since that's new and it's big and flat for him, but he likes that. So we're going to probably do mural and plants here. I know right now, ugly concrete. We're going to settle in the house and get used to it before we understand what really we want to do next. Because we weren't really sure. It was a lot of changes that we had happen. And we weren't really sure what we wanted to do. We just wanted this. We wanted this over with. And we can start using it. And then we'll figure out from there. I think that's it from here. If you're interested in more like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's Expat Rebel. And if you're interested in weekly newsletter, becoming an expat or already being an expat news, go over and get that at expatrebel.com/newsletter. And it comes out every week. And appreciate you coming to visit, escort you out. But it was a nice, fun project that we're very happy is over. And it's a beautiful place and we love it here. We looked at it as kind of our retirement house. And we're very happy of how the renovation came out and all the accessories that we had added to the house to make it, I think around here called Canadian standard, mostly Canadians here, more than Americans, but Canadian or American standard. The water flows really great in the house now. It's very comfortable. We had the wiring upgraded, a lot of electrician stuff done that was a problem, and had all this done and cleaned up. And now it's just very comfortable. But thanks for coming, and thank you for the visit. I'll see you next time here on expatrebel.com. Ciao.